Hi you guys and Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on today's video. So a few weeks ago, one of you commented a video request and you said that you wanted me to talk about a few investment bags where if you're under a strict budget, what could you buy that will last you many, many generations? Now, you can already see the selection of bags that I've picked here, and I had a really long, hard think about it, and there are a lot of bags out there that are really, really good quality and that will last you quite a long time as well. But I just didn't think that they would last you multiple generations, especially when, you know, the quality of them isn't going to be as good as some of the bags that I've picked here or some of the more expensive bags. And even if they do match the quality, because they're a lower price point, they come from a brand that's a bit more, I guess, smaller, so we're not talking big brands like Louis Vuitton or Chanel and stuff, and so that aftermarket service is not going to really be there, and also that kind of second-hand reselling price isn't going to be there as well. That value isn't really going to hold up. So these bags are more, they're a little bit more on the expensive side, so we're talking about like 5,000 to 6,000 Australian dollars. So in terms of say like US or the UK, it'll be, you know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 for you guys. So it's not hugely expensive, but it is definitely quite a high threshold. But I do think that these are bags that are worth dipping into. They're worth actually holding on to, I should say, because they will, in my opinion, last multiple generations. And there are ways to get around the high price tag. You know, you don't have to buy retail. You can go online, you know, Vestiaire Collective. There's now an Australian store as well that I use myself called Luxe Forward, L-U-X-E, Luxe Forward, F-W-D, and I'll link it below there. They've got really good prices and they have classic pieces that come up now and again. You know, we're talking Birkins, Lady Dior's, etc. I think one of the most obvious pieces is definitely the Birkin, but I didn't want to include that because I felt like that is just way kind of like out and above the price range. You know, it's like really, really up there. And so I'm not going to babble on too much. I'm going to kind of stop it there and I'm going to get started and show you guys and talk through why I think these bags are actually worth the money. I understand that the video request was for like a strict budget, but I think that if you work kind of really hard, you know, you save over a few years, these price tags aren't completely out of your reach. You know, if you're very diligent and you're careful, and even if you go down that second-hand route, it's not out of your reach. So I think it's definitely worth considering. All of these are definitely worth considering. So I'm going to start off with something that people don't usually think about when they think classic handbags, and that would be the Fendi Peekaboo. So you can see that this bag is absolutely gorgeous. I think that it is such a stunning, stunning handbag. And what people don't realize is that this is actually a classic. It is Fendi's most classic bag. It's like the Chanel classic flap equivalent for Fendi. And the great thing is it's not hugely expensive. So when I purchased this, I think it was 3 years ago on Boxing Day, I got this for 5,400 Australian dollars. It was, there were only 3 that were imported into Australia with this particular combination. So the grey leather with the cream lambskin and also the gold hardware with the milky kind of marble bar at the top. This particular combination, only 3 of them came into Australia, and I'm the type of person that if you say this is a limited edition, I'm going to snap it up. I'm a huge sucker for limited edition stuff. So yeah, like this bag, anyways, this bag is an absolute classic. It's such a classic style. I don't really think it's ever going to go away. They're really good quality. I've had this bag for 3 years. I've used it maybe at least 5 times a month, at least 5 times a month, every single month. So I've worn it a lot, and looking at the bag now, I cannot see a single scratch. I can't see a single blemish, you know, apart from the hardware. And obviously the hardware is going to get a little bit of scratching because when you close it, it kind of clacks like that. So you're going to get a little bit of scratching on the hardware, but In terms of the leather quality, in terms of the shape of the leather as well, you can see it's kept its shape so well. And a big part of that is because it has this middle section here that separates the back compartment and the front compartment. So this middle compartment here is a piece of leather down the middle, and that really helps hold its shape. And I think that it's a really good idea, and I think every bag should have this. There's another one here that has the same structure, and I think that that's going to kind of help both of these bags really last multiple generations. Now, the fantastic thing is, with Fendi being as big of a brand as it is, if in say 5 years time, 15 years time, I use it and it gets broken down and battered, I can always take it back to Fendi and I can ask them to restore the leather. I can ask them to replace the hardware. I can ask them to brush it up. I can ask them to fix it, kind of buff out any scratches. And yeah, like that's the kind of service that you really pay for. This bag is 100% worth the money. And a lot of people kind of just wear it like this, which is perfect as well, because it's a really stylish bag that you can wear for work. You can have, for what I do is I keep like a lunchbox, my wallet, and then I keep my paperwork in the front. Generally it's not important paperwork, so I can fold it in half and keep it in the front. And for work, this is a very nice bag. It's very clean, it's very simple, there's nothing too fancy or over the top about it. But the way that I like to wear it is you kind of undo it and you let the front sit down like that, and you kind of reveal the beautiful soft lambskin interior with the Fendi plaque here as well. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, the Fendi gold plaque, and you reveal the beautiful marble bar at the top, and it's a stunning look. So I think this bag is really worth it. And 60 years down the line, because the leather is so durable and it's such good quality, 60 years down the line it'll still be really good quality, and you'll be able to pass it on to your son or your daughter, and it's so worth it. And 100% that bag will last you for multiple generations. The next one I want to talk about is something that's a little on the lower price range on the scale, and that is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis. For the longest time, so if you watched my unboxing of the Pochette Metis, you will know that I talk about not really liking the Pochette Metis that much. I kind of like for a long time ignored the Pochette Metis because it was just not a bag that vibed with me. I didn't like it. I thought it was a massive trend. I thought that it would go away in a while, and I guess this kind of just fell in my lap. So Louis Vuitton have employed a new strategy where they are starting to pull back their stock levels. I say starting, but they started this strategy in 2018 or 2019 last year. And they are pulling back their stock levels. So they're trying to reduce the market saturation so that the people who want it can't just so easily get it. And this kind of just fell in my lap because COVID happened, and my SA was like, hey, a lot of those popular bags now, as a VIP, you can just order them and you'll get them. So things like the Palm Springs mini backpack, Pochette Metis, notorious for being incredibly hard to get a hold of, but my SA was like, you can just order them and you'll get it. I didn't do it for the Palm Springs mini backpack because it was just not something that was for me, but I thought, hey, you know what, with the Pochette Metis, why not? And at the time, my cousin had wanted one as well, so I was like, if I don't like it, I just give it to my cousin. So I got it, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I can totally understand now why this bag is so popular. It is just so chic, worn on one shoulder or crossbody, and the compartments inside are absolutely astonishing. Like, they're so roomy, it's so versatile. You can put anything in there. You can go for a day trip to the zoo with your family, you can go on date night with your boyfriend, carrying your makeup and whatever, your phone. It is absolutely just one of the most versatile bags ever. The only thing is, it's a bit hard to close when you don't have anything inside, similar to the Gucci Marmot. Anyways, I'll close it later. But this bag has been an absolute delight to use. And I got this bag, I think, about 4 months ago in August. And I the first month that I got it, I did not stop using it. I kept using it like every single day, and it was so good. You can run errands with this, you can do anything. So good. So this in Australia, when I got this, was $2,000, I think $700, and it's now price increased to $3,400 or $3,200, something like that. But in terms of kind of like the pricing scale for classic handbags, this is definitely on the lower end. And it is canvas, which is obviously why it's a little bit lower on the scale of pricing. But I think because it's canvas, it's also beneficial as well in terms of helping it last those years. With the handbag repairs, you know, canvas can be easily repaired. It's very durable to start with, so you're not going to get many scratches, you're not going to get many blemishes and stuff. And even if you do get those scratches, you know, you take it to a leather worker, they can work on buffing it out, or you can take it back to LV. Their aftermarket sales service is so good. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm a VIP, because I've dumped like so much money on that brand, because their bags are deliciously beautiful and their after sales service is also quite amazing as well. So I think this bag is definitely worth the investment, and it's definitely one of the ones that you should probably get, you know, when you get an opportunity to. But yeah, so this bag definitely good, and I think, I don't know yet because it was only released in 2016, I believe. I don't know if it will last multiple generations, but I am including it in this list because I think it will. I do think it will last multiple generations, just because it's so durable, and LV's sales service, after sales service is so good. So they'll repair it, they'll do anything they can to keep your bag minty fresh. So this is the Pochette Metis, and you know, when you pass it on to your children, your grandchildren, they're gonna love it as well, because it's really good as a bag to run errands, as a bag to go out in for anything, you know, whether it's a school excursion, you know, for your grandkids, whatever it is, they're gonna absolutely love that bag. So the next one, I'm gonna jump to the front over here, and it is one of my favorite bags, 100% one of my favorite bags. So this is the Louis Vuitton Capucines. This was released in 2016 as well, or 2017, and it was touted as Louis Vuitton's new classics. So it's kind of like Louis Vuitton's take on the Chanel classic flap or the Fendi Peekaboo, where they want to create a bag where it is known as a classic Louis Vuitton, and I think they have absolutely nailed this on the head. They have completely hit the bullseye with this bag. It's so incredible. I think the design is timeless. You can, you know, if you're watching this in 2030, 2050, if my videos are still up, this bag will probably still be around, and if it's not, it'll still be a bag that is so incredibly stunning. And you can pass it to your grandchildren in 40 years time, or your children in 20 years time, whatever the case may be. They will love it, and it will still be an incredibly beautiful bag. The only thing that I will say about this is that you have to be very careful about the combination that you pick. I have seen online second-hand capucines that are not selling, and their combinations are like a black with silver, and yes, it's kind of like a classic combination, but it's also not a combination that complements the shape of this bag. It's not a combination that works with what this bag feels like. And this bag feels like the epitome of femininity. It's like black with silver is a very edgy kind of thing, and I don't really think it goes well with this bag, which is why I think those bags are not selling. This bag, however, with the python skin strip, the gold hardware, the black classic leather, it just screams a classy, feminine, you know, woman bag, and I think it is so stunning. I know I've said that a billion times, but honestly, it really is. I don't have any complaints about it, because it's just like such a perfect bag. This is a bit more expensive though. This I purchased from Louis Vuitton, I think 2 years ago for $6,800. So yeah, it's a bit expensive. $1,000 more than the Fendi Peekaboo. And I think this has gone up in price to $7,500 now, or $7,600 I think. So it's, yeah, it's quite an expensive bag, but it is 100% worth the money. I really think that if you are able to get your hands on this bag, if you save up, you will not regret it, because this bag is just such a beautiful bag. I have used it for 3 years, and even the python leather, so none of the python skin has, the scales have flipped up, even though I brush this all the time. You know, and on here as well, the python skin has remained completely mint condition, even though this is the bit where you kind of slide in. So there's a little strap here where you kind of slide in this flap, and that's kind of how you keep the bag closed. And even though that's where you slide it in, which means there'll be a lot of rubbing here, the python skin has retained its shape. It's stayed in absolute perfect condition. I mean, there's a little bit of pilling here I can see now that I'm looking very closely. A tiny bit of pilling, but honestly, otherwise, guys, this bag is in perfect condition. I cannot see a single scratch on this bag. Yeah, 3 years in, and this bag has remained absolutely perfect. There is a bit of corner scuffing here, but unfortunately, I think with bags, all bags, no matter how expensive or how cheap, corner wear is unfortunately the one thing that every single bag has to deal with. It's always the first thing to go. The corner's always the first thing to go. This bag has been incredibly durable. Yeah, the leather is very hard wearing. You know, it's not like a really soft leather as well. Yeah, this bag, such good value, and it's definitely a bag that is an investment piece. So just one thing, I'm going to talk about the Chanel next, because it kind of brings me into that whole investment idea. So with these pieces, when I say investment pieces, what I kind of mean by that is not that you're gonna get your money back or you're going to make money off these. The idea behind these investment pieces are that investment, you know, by definition, is that you put something in and you get something better out of it. Now, for most people, you know, investment will just mean you put $5 in, you get $7 back. That's an investment. But in terms of these handbags, I think with handbags and material goods, generally investment money-wise is not usually going to be the case, unless we're talking like a Birkin, where you buy it and you can still get more money back than you paid for it, or the Pochette Metis, for example, when it was popular. It's generally not the case that you can be a good investment money-wise. It is still a good investment in the sense that I will, or you will, dump this money on this bag, and what you get out of it is a experience where it will last multiple lifetimes. It will give you joy, bring a smile to your face, let you enjoy life with something that is so precious in your arm for the next 50, 60 years, and then be able to hand that experience down to your children, to your grandchildren, and you get that incredibly warm and loving experience with these bags for potentially hundreds of years. And I think that is a good investment. That has kind of brought me onto this bag, because this bag, along with the Pochette Metis and the Birkin, it is possible for you to get your money back, what you paid for it, or even more. So this is the Chanel 255. Now, the reason I have not picked the Chanel Classic Flap is because, one, I don't have it, and two, I actually think the 255 is better than the Classic Flap. And the reason I say that is because the classic flap was a derivative of the 255. The 255 is actually the original Coco Chanel bag, or sorry, the original bag created by Coco Chanel in 1955. And it was discontinued for like 30 years, and Karl Lagerfeld brought it back in 1994, I believe it was, in exactly the same way as Coco Chanel had it back in 1955. The classic flap was derived from the 255. It's not the original. It is still a classic, but it's not the original. And it was just a, I guess, in a way, a knockoff of the 255, created by Karl Lagerfeld to fit the modern, I guess, the modern vision of what a Chanel classic bag looks like. But the 255 has history, it has quality, it has everything you want in a good investment piece for it to be a part of this selection. You're not going to go wrong with buying this bag. This bag is like, this bag, first of all, has been around for, unofficially, it's been around for 80 years, right? I think it was 1955 to 2021, something like about 70 years, right? A little less, 66 years. And it's just a great bag. You know, you open it up, it's got that, the flap or the slot where you can put stuff, you know, maybe a lipstick or a piece of paper there. It's got the inside flap here, and then it's just a big gap inside and a big hole, and it's got a flap at the front for you to put things. And it's just really well designed. Like, I think it's just incredibly well designed, and I think that it's a design that's not going to go anywhere. I think that the 255 is just such a nice bag, and there's really not much to say. I think everyone can just know that this is a bag that really will last multiple generations. The leather is quite durable. So the really good thing about all of these bags is that the leather, or the canvas, the material is very, very durable. So you don't, if you aren't silly with your bags, and if you just take good care of them, you're not really going to need an after sale service anyway. Obviously 60 years down the track, you might, probably will actually, because you know, no matter how much you baby your bags, in 60 years you're going to see some wear. But just generally speaking, these bags are very, very durable, and it's going to be very hard wearing. It's going to last you a long time anyway without you really having to go to anybody to get them kind of restored. And I think that contributes a lot to why these bags will last multiple generations. The final bag that I have picked is none other than the classic Lady Dior. So I have always wanted a Lady Dior, and I've never really pulled the trigger on one because I've always felt that the Lady Dior was a bit too feminine. So I felt with this bag, I said that this was kind of the epitome of femininity, and it is. It's kind of like everything that comes to mind when you think of like a classy woman, right? At least that's what kind of comes to my head. But that doesn't mean that only women can wear it. I mean, clearly I'm not a woman and I'm wearing it. Whereas with this one, I've always felt that it's more suited for women, and that only women can wear it. There is the bigger version, but I don't think that's called the Lady Dior. I think that's called the, I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like the much bigger version, and it's square rather than, well, I guess this is a square as well, but it's like a bigger square, and it looks a bit like a briefcase. And I thought for a long time I could pull that off and use that as an actual briefcase. And then this came along, the all black Lady Dior, black hardware, matte black leather, absolutely stunning. And I thought, yes, this is the one for me. This is 100% the bag for me. It's just got that edginess, yet maintaining its like kind of classy lady look. And I love it so much. And come on, the Lady Dior along with the Chanel Classic Flap, these are bags that I don't even need to explain. They are 100% investment pieces. They're going to last you multiple generations. I have responded to a few comments on this. I did a review of this bag, and a few people have asked for an update because it's been like a year now, basically the short answer, I might do a full video, but the short answer is there has been nothing. I think in that video I mentioned that some of the feet has rubbed off a little bit at the bottom, which is to be expected because that's where you set it down, and I think I might have mentioned that there's a bit of greasiness because I dropped oil on it when I was eating at a food market in China, because I brought this with me to China on holiday. But other than that, I managed to get the oil marks off. The feet, I haven't really kind of touched on because I don't really think it's that important. It's just like a speck of the black paint coming off, which I expect to anyway, because it's literally the only part of the bag that touches the floor. So I expect that. But in terms of the handle, where I'm wearing it like this, because the handles are gonna like rub like that, I cannot see a single mark. I can't see scratches. I cannot see anything, and it is still in perfect mint condition. So to anyone who is thinking about a matte leather bag from Dior, or even getting this Lady Dior, I would say pull the trigger. I would say pull the trigger for any of these 5 bags. This is not like a review, so I haven't gone into detail about the condition of each bag and like how easy they are to use. I've picked this selection just from purely an investment perspective. I think that these will last you multiple generations. But a big part of why they're going to last you multiple generations is because they are so durable. And in saying that, I can tell you right now, as like a general comment, none of these bags have any scratches on them. None of these bags, and I've owned these bags except this one. I've owned this one for 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. And none of them need any sort of special babying. None of them need any restoration. They're all still in perfect condition, not a single scratch on any of them. The leather is also perfect. It's the exact same condition as when I bought it. So there you go. Definitely worth looking into. And that is everything for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone's support. If you have any comments or feedback, or if you have any video suggestions, please leave it in the comments below. I really love it when people do that. Helps me to make sure that the videos I'm making are actually useful to you guys, which is something that I really want to be able to do. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!